Hello, we are here with Dr. Barba today. Welcome again. Thank you for being here with me.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure to see you. Becky, what do you think?
Likewise. Let's talk about skincare. Now, we're entering the colder months. We just started fall. Although we don't really have those marked seasons here in Miami, let's talk about it because there's a lot of other people that live in places that do have the colder seasons. How does our skincare routine need to change when the weather changes?
Yeah, that's a great question. And actually, you'd be surprised, even though we don't get those harsh winters, I do as a dermatologist see the skin changes even with the mild changes in our weather. And a lot of it has to do with dry skin. And simply because there's less humidity in the air, it does get chillier. You know, here in Miami, we're not used to being cold. So when it does get cold, we like to be under the shower, right? These longer, hot showers. And sometimes we don't switch up our skincare routines, and getting into winter, our skin just naturally tends to dry out because of the things I just mentioned, less humidity in the air, longer, hotter showers, we're over exfoliating, so the skin tends to get dry. So we have to be really careful because skin that gets dry, especially in the winter, is then skin that can have issues like itchiness, like irritations, eczema flares, psoriasis flares. So it's really important to kind of be cognizant of this fact that your skin's gonna dry out so that we prevent skin from having problems and necessitating a visit to the dermatologist.
Now, you mentioned hot showers. Is that a bad thing? Because I take hot showers.
Yeah, well the thing is, it's a bad thing if one, you tend to getting dry or you suffer from eczema. It's one of the very first things we tell patients or their parents when they're kids when they have eczema. Our body produces natural moisturizers. We produce lipids, cholesterols, and different ingredients that keep our skin naturally moisturized. It's skin biology to keep it moisturized. So when we're taking really hot showers, that's all rubbing away these amazing natural proteins that live in your skin, that hydrate your skin naturally. And so when the weather changes and our skin starts getting drier, or you suffer genetically from dry skin conditions, it's one of the first things we try to educate our patients on. They have to be short, quick baths or showers with warm water and not too hot, again, because you want to prevent them dissolving or take away those natural moisturizers.
Perfect. Now, in regards to underarms, we never think about underarms when we're thinking about skincare. It's always usually our face, maybe our legs, our arms, and even then we miss spots like our knees and our elbows. Underarms, nobody thinks about them. Tell me a little bit about underarms.
Well, we think about them a little more here in Miami.
Yeah.
Just because we're wearing
we're more exposed.
Clothes, right? We're wearing sleeveless all year round, and patients do come in, believe it or not, complaining about the appearance of their skin underneath the arms. And so usually I start with trying to see, well, what's causing irritation or what's causing hyperpigmentation, and trying to take away those factors that are adding to what could sometimes lead to brown spots underneath the arms, right? So we do tend to care. I think a lot of it comes with making sure that we're using correct skincare in a place like underneath your arms, right? So when you're using your antiperspirant deodorant, look for ingredients that not only protect you 48 hours against wetness and odor, like Dove Advanced Care, but also have Nutrient Moisture, this proprietary amazing combination of humectants that also moisturizes that sensitive skin area so that your skin not only is hydrated, but also calm so that there's less tendency to getting hyperpigmented. And also taking that conversation elsewhere. Like you said, it's not just our face and our neck, our chest, but it's hands. During the winter, hands tend to dry out. If you live in climates where there's colder weather, we put on gloves, we take off gloves. And this friction also wipes away natural moisturizer, so making sure that we're using a very good hand cream. We're trying to minimize those alcohol-based sterilizers, right? The different ingredients that kill all those microbes, but also are high in alcohol. And paying attention to our lips. Lips tend to get dry, right, in the winter, so look for those amazing lip balms that have beeswax and all those humectants that maintain the moisture, and also feet, especially in the winter, especially in cities where you all walk around a lot.
Yeah.
All that friction on the heel of the foot, again, dries out the feet. It can crack and fissure, and then it can cause pain. So we want to make sure that we're also using amazing moisturizers, taking it down to the feet. And if you want to do like an intensive therapy, use creams that have urea, 20% or 40%, and then put on some socks at nighttime. Do this for 7 days. I promise your feet will change.
Your feet will love you.
Yes.
Now, going back to underarms, I wanted to ask you, do you recommend exfoliating underarms or no for whatever reason?
Yeah, so I actually do not recommend exfoliating underarms. And again, it has to do with that skin is sensitive. It's already being exfoliated.
Yeah.
Okay? Because when we're shaving, we are exfoliating. It's a mechanical exfoliation of the sensitive skin. When we're waxing, we are exfoliating. When we're running around and walking around, that friction of skin against skin or skin against fabric is an exfoliation. And so traditionally that area, just like the skin underneath the eyes, is one of the most sensitive areas. So we want to make sure that we are not exfoliating, because again, then we want these active ingredients to stop the sweat and these deodorants to mask the smell. So we want to minimize the chance of getting irritated from over-exfoliation, which I as a dermatologist, ladies, see all the time. It's not unusual for somebody to come to see me because they're totally over-exfoliated from skincare products they're using on their face or other parts of the body. So we want to be very careful about that.
What other tips can you give us for taking care of our skin in the colder months? Even though, you know, like I mentioned that in Miami, we don't have it as marked as other places. But we also talked about, you know, in previous visits about sunscreen. Sunscreen is something that we still need to use all the time. So let's talk a little bit more about what you recommend for the colder months.
Right, so even though it's getting colder in a city, especially like Miami or California, Texas, where it's, you know, it's not as hot, but the sun is still out, we need to be very meticulous with our sunscreen, with our sunscreen, not only from a skin cancer prevention, but also many women, especially Latino women, suffer from brown spots. And that is the biggest driver for brown spots and hyperpigmentation. So just because it's not as hot outside, or maybe there's clouds, that doesn't mean that you don't wear sunscreen. I think it's imperative. Sunscreen for me is like, I always say, for me it's like toothpaste. Just like you use toothpaste to brush your teeth in the morning, before you get out of the house you layer on some sunscreen so that you're protecting your collagen, you're protecting your DNA, you're protecting your skin cells, so that you minimize the chance of skin cancer, but also aesthetically you minimize the sun damage long-term and the hyperpigmentation. So it's key.
Now, besides talking about Dove, which is the antiperspirant that we're talking about for the underarm, what are maybe 3 products, without, you know, obviously naming any names, just in general, products that we should be using for our skin in the summer and in the winter?
Yes, okay, so great question. So a cleanser, especially in the morning, cleansers do not have to be these deeply cleansing, foaming cleansers. So investing in a very simple cleanser that hydrates while at the same time cleansing, that's gentle. Because you've probably done a really good job cleaning your face at night. You wear makeup, maybe you've double cleansed, so your face is pretty clean. The only thing really on it, if you did a good job at taking away your makeup, is really just the serums that you put on to either treat your acne or to treat your wrinkles, whatever it is that you're using at night. So really when you slept, your skin is pretty clean. So in the morning you want to use a gentle cleanser. Number 2, which I think is a non-negotiable, is an antioxidant serum. Because sunscreens are never 100% blocks, because rays still get through, and because we release free radicals just from the fact that we breathe oxygen, we really want to be protected with an antioxidant serum in the morning so that we quench those free radicals and they're not causing damage. And then number 3 would be a sunscreen. And there's so many amazing formulations now, there's really no excuse not to wear a sunscreen, because they make them in all variations. Tinted, non-tinted, oil-free, moisturizing, hyaluronic acid have ingredients that can calm acne. So really, it's just about finding a formulation that you like. I like a little trick that I love to do, especially when we have some pigment, is mix a little bit of foundation into sunscreen so that it becomes more pigmented, so that when you put it on, you are also covering and providing some good coverage. Look for a foundation that also has SPF. They make some amazing ones that have SPF 20, 30. When used in combination with sunscreens, can be really even more protective.
Now, facials, which is what we did today.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about the facial that I had done today, which was very relaxing and feels amazing?
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about that and how frequently we should have a facial done in general.
Right, so I'm a huge believer in facials, and I have the privilege of working with 7 now full-time estheticians. And we work in combination, we support each other. So I, as a dermatologist, I see patients, I prescribe, you know, I see patients 10, 15 minutes, but these estheticians are professionals who are just as passionate about skincare as I am, who are highly trained, who can spend an hour with their clients, not only educating them because they're very well versed in recognizing active ingredients in skincare. One of the amazing things about today's skincare is that I always say it's not our grandma's skincare. These skincare ingredients are so rich in active ingredients that really do make a difference in the skin. So well-trained estheticians know how to layer these active ingredients to give you a beautiful, what we call the Barba glow, right? To make sure your skin is clear if you're having acne, to make sure it brightens up if you're having hyperpigmentation, to teach you the order and how to use your skincare regimen. And so, you know, having access to a really good esthetician can, I think, transform your skin because, again, it's a question of time. If you come to see them, you know, once a month, it's 1 hour every month that they're driving home the message and educating and teaching you how to use your skincare so that you get the maximum effect.
And tell me a little bit about the treatment that we did today.
Yes.
I know we had like a little cooling effect at the
Yes.
end. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So today you had our Barba Signature, which really revolves around deep cleansing, extracting if you need extractions, mechanical exfoliation with a diamond tip wand, microdermabrasion, and then what we did, you had a treatment called the Cool Lift, where basically we're using this amazing device that uses carbon dioxide cartridges, which is a pressure device to drive hyaluronic acid in the skin. So you get a tightening effect because of the cold spray. It's cold, it closes the pores, but at the same time, that pressure really is driving this really yummy hyaluronic acid into the skin to give a really amazing glow.
And this is good even for people with oily skin, right?
Yes, it is, because it's not adding oil, and again, in combination with a good facial where we've extracted and we've cleansed, and just because
it's like that finishing touch.
Yeah, just because you're oily, right? A lot of times we're oily, but yet we use products that might dry us out because we're using retinoids, or maybe we're treating acne. Different ingredients that are treating or the skin, but at the same time sometimes can dry out the superficial cells. A treatment like this, like a hydration treatment, can actually be very therapeutic because it helps offset some of that flaky skin that some of our treatments, especially acne treatments, can cause.
How often do you recommend getting facials?
Listen, for some people, facials are a luxury. I understand that. But here at Barba Skin Clinic, we recommend them every single month. We actually have a membership called the facial membership, where patients or clients buy 12 facials for the year, and they have to use it within a 14-month period. So that's almost one facial every month. You know, you can travel, whatever, and maybe be off by every 4 weeks. That's why we give you every 14. We give you 14 months to use it. But we find that not only it gives a lot of value because of one, it's reminding you to come in, and two, you're getting really amazing discounts on your skincare, and you also get discounts if you do any other services at Barba Dermatology. So
Perfect.
It's a good value.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Dr. Barba. It was great seeing you again. It was great being at the clinic, having my face retouched in a sense. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Becky.
Bye.